Remember those days of waiting? Well, those days are finally. Welcome to the ones that provide you with gaming news, gaming reviews, and all the entertainment you need to get you through your day. We are the Coast to Coast Gaming Central.
Welcome to episode 3 of Coast to Coast Gaming Central. Again, I'm MKGUY. Got my boy Boost Dust here. Got my boy Monty here.
I'll actually say something. I'm like Boost Dust.
Thank you. And I got my boy Mr. Mo Money, Mr. Money here. Who also didn't say anything. Anyway.
We're a little short on team players.
Well, yeah, we are. So I know last week I said that we were going to have everybody here, but you see what happened was everybody, our schedules conflicted, and we just didn't get all together. But we'll be here eventually. Don't worry about it.
And two of them are in spirit right now, but they're here, but they're not.
So we're here today. We have a pretty good episode today, actually. GDC is going on right now. A lot of gaming news coming out of that. Metal Gear. Metal Gear Ground Zeroes was released yesterday. We got plenty to talk about that. Also, Infamous Second Son releases. Today is Wednesday. It will release tomorrow night at midnight, which would be Friday. So everyone that doesn't know, that releases this week. Final Fantasy X HD released yesterday as well. So this week has been pretty good in terms of games. So, let's get it out of the way. Let's get started. So first things first, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the Metal Gear, let's talk about some headlines really quickly here. Now, Monty,
All right. Mm-hmm.
Did you know that GDC was going on this week?
No, I was playing. I know.
Okay. So GDC is going on. There's been not a ton of major announcements, but there's been some important enough announcements. So first things first, starting with PlayStation here. Yesterday, which would have been Tuesday, they went ahead and announced their VR headset that's compatible with the PlayStation 4. Now, basically, for anyone that doesn't know what a VR headset is,
I might buy one.
And Boost might buy one. I might buy one as well, depending on how cool and or cost effective it is.
I don't know. I have a lot of faith into Sony because of the Move controller.
Yeah, the Move controller.
I like the concept of the
good.
Move controller, like the way they made that movement, like the way how it interacts with the camera as well, like when you move, whatnot. Like I like that.
It was way better what we did. I think it was executed better. Even though I had one, I didn't use it that much because I didn't really have that many games that were compatible with it.
I had a Move, and I'll be honest with you, the only full game I played with the Move was Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition.
I'm kind of curious how Heavy Rain would have worked with it.
I did try Heavy Rain with the Move, and that was actually pretty cool. Like when you cut off Ethan's finger, like the freaking light lit up red. But yeah, it was pretty cool. The Move definitely used good technology. They just never put out a lot of good games to support it. But anyway, they started doing they started doing prototypes with the Move. Actually, not with the Move. They did prototypes with the VR headset. Actually, around the time they did the Move. Or apparently they used the Move to be able to input the technology of when you turn your head with the headset on that you actually, you view, so like your camera turns with the game when you do that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the headset is really cool. From the looks of it, at least. Of course, none of us here have been able to try it, but they sent it out to some developers. Some developers that have already jumped on are Crytek, of course, Sony first-party studios, EA. They're one of those publishers that hopped onto it already. So we'll actually start seeing games implement it much sooner than later, actually. So pretty cool stuff. That was Sony's biggest announcement yesterday out of GDC.
Yeah.
Some other announcements coming out of GDC, of course. We have Well, by the way, let me get this clear right now. As of today, as of the recording of this podcast, there really hasn't been a ton of Microsoft news yet, other than them stating that there will be much more 1080p Xbox One games coming very soon. Granted,
That's good,
What was it
GDC isn't
called?
over.
What was the name of the RAM that kind of screwed over the Xbox One that they put in it? The E RAM, the
GDR3.
E, the wait,
But
is
yeah, but
the
then
ES
no, they put
RAM or
in.
something like that?
I can look it up.
I don't remember. I just
I
know they have
forgot because I know I was
they have
trolling
GDR5.
like the Xbox just because of it. Now I forgot the name of it because
Hold up,
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
don't
it
even
up.
really keep up with Xbox news as much.
I know they have GDR3 memory RAM in there, and the PS4 has GDR5, which was a big deal.
I mean
But
that wasn't the problem. It was because of that 32 megabyte other RAM. I forgot. I don't know the exact name of it, but that was the reason why they can't run 1080p fully, like properly, actually, without it glitching or doing some frame rate drop or some sort.
This is the RAM is a 8 GB DDR3.
No, not that RAM. I'm talking about another chip they put in there.
Uh, ES RAM.
there you
Yeah,
go.
that there we go. I was right. That kind of screwed
Basically,
over them. That kind of screwed them over, like for big time.
I guess really quickly here. I guess I'll classify this as Microsoft news because the game's only on Microsoft platforms. But the developer, Respawn, that makes Titanfall, they said that their next game definitely will not be a console exclusive. And they semi already announced the Titanfall 2 because EA has already come out and said that they're going to publish their next game. So, expect to see Titanfall 2 probably at like E3 next year.
I like when Keith Sutherland said he's going to be in the next Mortal Kombat.
Hey, I also heard
Yep.
that Respawn is not going to be leaving out any other consoles this time. So,
Nightfall 2.
yeah.
And most likely EA will, once their contract is up, they'll probably release Titanfall 1 on PS4. Also, Titanfall will be running
Just
at a
like what
sub
they did
1080.
with Crisis.
Yep.
Or Mass
Just like
Effect.
Titanfall will be running at a sub 720p frame rate on the Xbox 360. So it won't even reach 720p on the Xbox 360. That's some more Microsoft news. All right, now off of the bad news and on some more good news. For all, just because I don't want to leave you guys out. Anyone that uses your mobile device to play games, and I'm not talking about Vita or 3DS, I'm talking about iPhone or Android. The creator of Flappy Bird says the game will return, but not soon. So you'll be tapping away very soon.
Yes. I wasn't even able to download the game. Like this time in my chats.
I had it on my phone and my iPad, but I never played it.
Good stuff. So Batman, because I remember when he said when he took it off the store, because he said the game ruins life. But apparently, the rest
And
of
when
your
it's
life, the
making you
game is actually making
50
you life.
grand a day out of ad revenues, I'm not gonna be complaining. That's all I'm gonna say.
No comment. That's all we can
Will there
say.
be a Flappy Bird 2?
Man, who knows? There's been so many spin-offs of the original Flappy Bird now.
Generic.
Yeah. More news coming out in the GDC today involves the PS4. Sony says that they're adding a new PlayStation patch, adding video editing, HDCP off, and Twitch in 720p for streaming.
Yes.
Basically,
So finally, I can throw away this HDMI to DVI converter, and then I'm gonna keep my optical cable, my digital optical cable though, and just plug it straight into my Elgato, which I'm using right now to capture this, but I have to use that in order to capture.
So for people that don't know, this next patch is going to bring big enhancements to the console share function and also let you turn off HDCP, which enables you to capture gameplay via HDMI. which is pretty cool for people that like to record updates. It's also going to add a rich video editor with a simple tool to personalize your video clips. And you'll also be able to export to and save the videos and screenshots you create by pressing the share button to a USB drive.
So
in addition,
a flash drive, pictures and stuff.
Yeah, you can. Yep, you can. Your screenshots and videos, you can put them up to a flash drive. And then, of course, again, it adds the HDCP off option for capturing gameplay via HDMI, a feature they previously said that would come after launch. And then Sony also says, this is a direct quote from them, that they recognize some gamers want to record and share longer clips of their gameplay sessions, and they're going to deliver this option on PS4. There's a lot more coming in this update as well, so stay tuned for more. There will be plenty in the update to excite everyone. So
the true question is how long is this update gonna be out? Like, how long we have to wait? Like,
well, they said this is gonna be the very next PlayStation 4 update.
Summer.
Considering we just had one a couple days ago.
And in the summer.
Yeah, considering we just had one a couple days ago.
Probably just in time for PlayStation Now.
Probably just in time for PlayStation Now, or maybe since they're already running PlayStation 4 Watch Dogs commercials, so they might have it ready for the time that game comes out, and then a new batch of people buy the system. So yeah, and then my favorite part about that is that there's a lot more coming in the update as well. Hopefully, it's not just more system stability,
which really sucks because I was on 2K earlier and it crashed. Yeah. Like, come on, man.
So we'll see. Also, the PlayStation 4 now has over 6 million units pushed out. Good stuff. More news coming out of GDC. The PS4 revitalized DC Universe Online. The game is actually over 3 years old now, believe it or not, but they had their biggest number of subscribers ever in the game.
Money was the starter. He got the disc.
Mr. Mo Money is the originator of DC Universe. They need to pay this man.
And he can't sell it either, so he's busted.
Yep. And they said they will continue to work on this game in the future, and they're very proud about the amount of subscribers that are going on the game. So, good for them.
I wonder if Elder Scrolls will change that.
Nope, I don't think so, because you can still hop on. You can still hop on DC for free at the end of the day.
I wonder if they will make it free to play. Elder Scrolls Online in the future.
Depends on if it flops in their opinion. Because DC Universe was going under before they went free to play. Now they turned into this Omega MMO. But we'll see. Only a couple more things on GDC, considering GDC's only been out for been going on for a couple of days. Ubisoft, they showed off a new tech trailer for the Division. Division Snowdrop engine and a new trailer. Now it's nothing but a tech demo, but for anyone that loves this kind of stuff or wants to see what the future of this game could look like, definitely check out that trailer. It's very, very pretty. And then, of course, one of the indie games that's releasing first on PS4, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Hot and Tasty, and the new one, the HD remake of the original game. That game also has a gameplay trailer. It looks really, really good. 1080p, 60 frames per second. To put it to you in terms, you've never seen a PS1 game redone like this. It's straight up a PS1 game redone to look like a PS4 game. It looks crazy. They also said if the fans want to see an actual sequel or a reboot to the series, the HD remake just has to sell 500,000. So for all fans of Abe's Odyssey or Oddworld, myself included, we all need to go out and buy this game. The game releases on PlayStation 4 first, sometime in Q2 of this year. After the PS4, then it's going to release on the Wii U as well. It's also going to release on the PlayStation 3. No word on if it's releasing on 360 or Xbox One yet. So, We'll see where that goes. Granted, the Oddworld games used to live on PS1 back in the day in the Game Boy Color. No, never on the N64. But
there any Nintendo news?
There is not any Nintendo news yet. Apparently, that happens tomorrow. The only thing coming out of the world of Nintendo is that the Wii U has 128 indie games lined up for it this year.
When is Road Rash coming out?
It's not actually Road Rash, by the way, but it's a Road Rash lookalike. I honestly forgot what it's called, but when I do find out, I will look it up.
What's it called? Road Rage? I believe they changed the name.
Something like that. It releases on the Wii U, though. It's an indie game, and it looks really, really damn cool. I don't know when that comes out. And as you can see, I'm a Metal Gear fan because my cell phone went off. But yeah, I don't know when that game comes out. I'm pretty sure that's one of the games they'll be talking about. So maybe they'll release like some sizzle reel or something of all the games they have lined up.
Called Roadshow.
What?
Is it called Roadshow? I'm just looking.
Roadshow. No, I don't think it was called Roadshow. I'll have to look it up and send you a
roadmap.
So
like a Wii U Road and.
Nah, I don't think the game was called Road in this thing. So. We'll have to find it.
Oh, is it a Road Redemption?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Road Redemption. Yeah.
Road Redemption. For anyone that doesn't know what Road Redemption is, look it up. If you enjoyed Road Rash games back in the day, back when EA actually put out cool games, well, they still do, but not as much as they used to.
Obviously, Madden is the best game ever.
How about that NBA Live 14?
Hey, that was a classic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that pretty much covers GDC. So what's going on, Boo?
No, that just brought back something that it just came to my head. You know when the PS4 finally came out, I had 2K, and then it was during the week that NBA Live was supposed to be coming out. And then there's this dude I know, who walks in the store where I work at in Brooklyn. And I told him, yo, you got to get the 2K whenever you get a PS4. He's like, nah, I'm waiting for NBA Live. I'm like, ha ha ha, good luck.
Man. I hear your decision.
Yeah, that dude got his PS4 and was mad.
No, I think he was happy because he returned it and got 2K. In the end.
Depending on if he got it from GameStop, they would only let him trade it in.
He probably got $5 for it.
Yeah.
And by the time he got it, the price probably dropped because no one bought it.
So that covers GDC for now. Moving on here, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Now this game definitely, I would say, would be the most controversial so far that's been released with the name Metal Gear Solid on it because of a few reasons. But the biggest reason is that it's the one that's actually come out. It's the first Metal Gear game ever to come out with a negative Metacritic score. The reason why is because of the length of the game. I'm pretty sure that's why. Because the actual game itself, in my opinion, is fucking great. But
I think we're going to have to bleep that out.
Well, on podcast beyond,
watch the mouth, sir. Gosh.
Hey, this is what it is. We're talking about an M-rated game.
Doesn't mean you got to use M-rated language.
You know what you need to do, Booth? Instead of a sensor, you're going to have the Metal Gear alert sound.
What the?
Well, hey, if I offend anybody, I apologize. But it is a gaming podcast. What can I say? Yeah, so anyway, the length of the game is probably the biggest reason why the game is panned. That and then there's some other things we'll get into here in a second. So before I go any further, though, this is for Mr. Mo Money and Mr. Monty and myself. Mr. Booth needs to play Metal Gear Solid Ground
Corgan and
Zeroes.
PJ and Spirit.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Booth
To
needs
quote
play
Corgan, he said that this is the greatest, shortest game he ever played in his life.
He's in the best 2 hours of his life. Exact words.
PJ, quote, said, "So you telling me once I get on this helicopter, this game is over?" Unquote. He loved the game though. Ask him how he went. Ask him how his hard mission playthrough went. Anyway,
You can watch my hard playthroughs.
Monty, what did you think about? Now we're not going into complete detail of the game yet.
Spoiler alerts.
Just straight up lengthwise, knowing it was a prologue. Were you satisfied, dissatisfied, or was it just right, or did you wish it was a little bit more?
I think it exceeded my expectations going into it. I'm always a Metal Gear fan. I always come in with a positive attitude. But with this one, I was kind of mixed. I was like, either I'm going to be really overjoyed with it, or I'm really going to be disappointed with the length. And I thought that it was just right for a prologue. And I feel like the best part about it is not just the story. Like the story gets pretty intense, but it's the gameplay that basically carries it. The gameplay itself is just you have to play the game to realize how great this gameplay is compared to other Metal Gear games. It's a completely different experience.
Yep. Mr. Money Momey, what are your thoughts about the length of the game?
It's pretty much the same as Monty's, to be honest.
All right.
No, we ain't taking that. Nope. Speak up. We're not taking that.
No,
Taking corners and whatnot. Nah.
Well, I'll say this. My opinion, lengthwise, I mean, we all knew going into the game that the game was only going to be at the most 2 hours long.
The main story, probably.
Yeah, the main story mission. I mean,
the main story
the thing is, they told us everything about the game before it came out. That the main story mission was going to be finished, like completed in 2 hours, and it was like overall 6 missions.
I got in at 58 minutes, but that's just because.
Well, yeah, most people finished it in an hour or less, but
yeah,
still,
2 hours.
I had the app, which helped out a lot.
So myself personally, gameplay wise, it makes me really excited to play the new Metal Gear game. It does. There's some stuff that they'll obviously polish up for when the full game comes out. So was this
driving?
Driving. So was this like a glorified $30 demo? Yes, it was.
I was just about to mention that it's a $30 demo.
But was it one of the coolest damn demos we've ever played in our lives? Yes. There is other content other than the story mission though, so it's not like the game is only 2 hours long. You know, if you actually, sit through all the side missions, the extra mission, the console exclusive mission, if you try to go for S ranks or anything like that, even if you just want to just play all the missions just to play through it, I mean, it'll take you at least a good 3 to 4 hours.
I mean, I've been playing for the past 2 days. I'm only got like 30% completion rating.
I mean, I read an IGN review, and they said they put 8 to 10 hours into the game. So you can get your value out of the game. That's not a problem.
Especially for a $30 one. Okay, today I only have like 8 hours, and I'm going for $60. And this one's only asking for 30. And it's a next-gen console.
I will say, we were already informed it's a prologue, so it's not like it was straight up Metal Gear Solid. If it was supposed to be straight up Metal Gear Solid 5, and it was that short, then of course everyone would shoot the world. But it's not. It's a prologue. We've known this since last year.
Sometimes they address
I mean, we've known this since GGC at last year. Like, what do you
need Lyric to come in?
Nah, he wouldn't stop talking about it. Oh my God, this is the best game ever.
Lyric was asked to come in, but.
Oh, he asked? He wants to come in?
Oh yeah, we can get it. Yeah, so we'll be hearing from our boy K Lyric, aka Corgan, once he gets himself all set up and in here. So actually, what I will do, just because I want his opinion on this as well, and I'll tell him to keep it short. we're sort of gonna wait for him to get here before we move on.
If he
So,
goes into depth like he did with The Last of Us DLC,
well,
he did
yeah,
a 3-hour episode.
actually, I do want Corgan here for when.
Because he's just as big as Metal Gear fan as all of us.
Yeah.
He's been
All
there since the
right.
beginning.
I didn't invite him back. Invited him.
Mr. Boost, man, you gotta play Metal Gear. Like, you've missed out on a great series.
Don't worry.
And he can get like
Getting
what is
the
it called?
Legacy Collection.
The Legacy Collection. You can get that and as every Metal Gear game.
You're gonna have to dedicate a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
He's gonna dedicate a month just to get past.
More than that, because it's Boost Dusk.
Y'all always treating me, man.
But I will say, Boost is playing that South Park pretty heavily. How is that game?
It's pretty good. I finished it.
Through South Park, Metal Gear is better. Let's play.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain will be better.
Like if this is just like a 2-hour demo, I can't wait for the full game to come out.
I can't either.
The thing about this
blew me
that
away.
was one mission, and the Phantom Pain is going to be more missions, and the fact that one mission can last as long as it did.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for that horse.
And like you can, like, the thing about this Metal Gear is that everyone can have a different experience. Like we all talked about how we went about our mission, and we all came across different stuff and different situations and weapons and items. It's really, you can take your own path in this Metal Gear.
And the Phantom Pain is going to go off of that like real daytime, nighttime simulator or whatever. So, like, you know, in Ground Zeroes, each mission had its own like setting, time of the day or weather, and all that's just going to be running smooth, I guess, at its own pace in the Phantom Pain world.
Can't wait. I'm almost certain we'll see a new trailer for that at E3. There's no way we don't. It's not like Konami has any other type of presence there.
I don't know.
Maybe they might release an HD remake of some of their old games.
Zone of the Enders, I see it coming.
I wonder if they would upport. So Ground Zero. So story-wise, Ground Zeroes is basically like your direct sequel to
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker, yeah. So and Phantom Pain basically continues off of Ground Zero. So you could essentially say, like maybe Konami would re-release the HD version on PS4. Yeah.
No.
What HD of what?
Peace Walker.
Well, then he has to get portable ops, and then he's not getting Metal Gear Solid 3 to continue the series.
Oh, I finally, as we continue to wait for K-Lyric, I finally found out why Kojima does not claim portable ops, or at least promote it as much as his other games, because he did not write the story.
He did not?
Like, he says the main story is canon, but like all the other little things, I guess he didn't really want to happen. But he did not write that story.
I believe that the sneaking suit from Portable Ops is the one that Snake wears in Ground Zeroes. I believe so.
Portable Ops was that game.
It was. My very...
Pause, you owe me a soda.
Shout out to the
my
I wonder
gosh.
if Kojima. I mean, we have the HD collection, but I wonder if Kojima would make, or if Konami would make like some sort of a Portable Ops 2 on the Vita or something like that. But the Vita is made for a game like Metal Gear. It really is.
Were you guys able to use the iDroid app on your tablet or handheld?
I did, but I didn't really use it with.
I didn't even download it on my iPhone.
I didn't use it with me when I was playing it.
What it is basically the pause menu. Basically, you can manage or you look through your files, and basically it kind of helps you out. It gives you a map basically. Instead of keep checking like in the main menu like where you are, the app does it for you. And also, when you're doing missions where to identify someone, it gives you pictures of the person, kind of like how it does in the game, but you actually can just look down. Oh, that's what he looks like. I have to find that guy.
Honestly, I don't know what they have to do, because Kojima said that he feels like he needs to build an engine for the system. but Nintendo needs to find a way to get Metal Gear on that system. Just because, especially this Metal Gear with the gamepad, instead of using the tablet, you can just use the controller itself.
The game Metal Gear is going to be a big game, like they should not miss out on. That's probably some process.
They shouldn't, especially since they want to put it everywhere now. But Kojima states that he loves the Wii U, but he feels like he needs to create an engine for that system.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, come on, man. Just use the Fox engine. I'm sure any engine he could create for this would be great, but...
But then I think a lot of people are wondering is, how you guys think about Kiefer Sutherland's voice acting skills in this game?
I thought he did. I mean, granted, he doesn't have a lot of lines for a long.
Mm-hmm.
But I
thought it was hit and miss. Basically.
Hit or miss.
I thought he did a good job for the script that was handed to him for this game.
I
don't think we could really make an actual judgment on that until the full game comes out.
I think he's a good voice actor in this game, but it's just that he's Snake, and I don't see that voice coming out of Snake.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't bothered by it. I wasn't bothered by the movie in the first place, but like there were those times in the cutscene, like I think it was at the ending where he got a little bit high pitched. You know, it's like we never heard Snake really high pitched. It was a little weird, but besides
his first line in the game also sounded pretty bad. Like, oh, is that his voice? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he sounds like Snake, sometimes he doesn't. Like, it's just hit and miss with it. That's why.
No, I mean, I wasn't bothered.
I think another problem is this game doesn't really take that far in the future from Peace Walker. And it's like, how does
Podcast.
We're doing a podcast, Cody, and you just come in here and ruin it. Not the
Hey, you're welcome. What's up,
Welcome,
everybody?
my brother.
We're talking about the game of the century until Peace Walker.
Ground Zeroes, I know.
Not Peace Walker. No, same thing.
Well, we finished this question up about 6 minutes ago, but we decided to procrastinate to wait for you so we can get your response.
There's my response about Ground Zero.
Before you go into the deep detail, Morgan.
Say what?
We want you to answer this question real quick.
Okay.
Don't go into a lot of detail yet.
Okay.
What were your thoughts on the length of Ground Zeroes? Were you satisfied, dissatisfied, what you expected, more than what you expected?
It's pretty much exactly what I expected. I didn't expect any less or more. I mean, I knew it was going to be short out going in, but that didn't really bother me just because I was just looking to see how the mechanics were going to play and how the graphics were going to look. I was just looking at everything but the length. I already knew it was going to be short. Now, for someone who is going to go in thinking they want a really long experience that they can sink their teeth into and, you know, they'll get their money's worth, yeah, you will find that here. But
there's a lot of replay value.
if you're looking just to complete the main stuff, okay, yeah, then I would understand waiting a bit before you purchase it.
Were you satisfied with the gameplay?
Oh, yes. Very much so. Very, very satisfied with just everything about it. Very, very happy. Even Kiefer Sutherland wasn't too bad.
We were just talking about him before you came in.
And just like that, Morgan's been caught up by himself.
You're welcome.
Just like maybe he was listening live from the live feed. Unknown source.
Yep. Oh, sorry to interrupt. You guys can go ahead and continue.
Oh no, you brought.
Oh no, we were waiting for you. So
You on topic, right on time.
Uh-huh.
So now that we got Morgan's response from that, we're going to move on to the other controversy about this game. So, as you know, the game is getting either. When you look up Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, you're going to see one of two things. You're going to see either something really great in the review category, or you're going to see something really low to mediocre in the review category.
Mm-hmm.
All the bad reviews, they all praise the one thing that makes everyone else give it a great review: the gameplay mechanics. Everyone says that the gameplay is. We're shaping up to have the best Metal Gear game ever made. But the biggest reason why they complained about it was the length, and they feel like Kojima is trying to force in certain things into the story to make it seem like Metal Gear is going to like a darker, more serious place. What they mean by that is Kojima recently, well, not recently, he's been saying it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. So, for all 11 people that are listening to this, if you haven't played Ground Zeroes, well, might be the time to fast forward.
Did I get a viewer update from last week?
Surprisingly, it's more than 11. I checked it recently.
Right, well,
I think it was all of us because of your acting skills.
Thank you. Where's my award? Where's my award?
Here's what I'll do. I'll move up the number to 15. For all 15 people that are listening to this podcast that haven't played Ground Zero, that would be the time to go ahead and fast forward until you hear Boost talking again, because he hasn't played Ground Zeroes either, so he won't be commenting on this.
Guys,
well, he'll probably comment something, but you'll be safe.
Anyway. 19 viewers.
19. I just thank you. So I'm rounding it up to all 20 viewers. Thank you.
And how many of them will come back to the third episode?
40. Anyway. So basically, Kojima stated in interviews leading up to the release of not only Ground Zeroes but Phantom Pain itself, is that, there's certain topics and certain things that he wants to do in the game story-wise that he feels like games don't touch upon that much yet. Basically saying if games don't touch upon these subjects or the subject matter, that, video games will never be taken too seriously. I see where he's coming from. Now, in the story, we'll try our hardest to not spoil it that much. Okay, there's no way to do that.
Well, the campaign, you kind of know what leads up to it. That he goes into a coma. All I had to do is just watch the trailer and you figure that out.
Yeah.
How that happens, what the story explains.
So story-wise, I guess they feel like, because Ground Zero, when you play through the game, unlike any other Metal Gear, in my opinion, this is like the first and this is just my opinion, but this is like the first time in Metal Gear where it's almost as if you're in a really like semi-creepy freaking environment. Like, creepy. Does anyone agree with that? Like, it's dark.
What about the end boss battle in that river with the fire tree?
I think that just speaks to just how well done just the overall presentation of the game was.
Oh yeah, the game.
So.
Yeah,
I think it really helps with the graphics and the lighting and it's just like the rain. It just complements the story, I guess, and it just makes it look all that better.
Oh, this hands down one of the most immersive games I've played yet.
By the way, I've seen this game running on a PS3, and you want to play this on a PS4. Not because it looks bad on PS3, but if your eyes have already experienced the PS4,
if you have both, you have like no reason to get it. They're both the same price, unless you're getting a digital.
What you was just not talking about? Like, I'd rather play South Park. If South Park, for example, South Park was on PS4, I would have bought that on PS4 because I got so used to it. Like the PS4, like when I was playing on PS3 South Park, I was like, oh my gosh, like the game is so good, but
man.
Yeah. Well,
man, that is South Park.
I'm gonna be playing my PS3 again soon though, because I just got Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remaster in the mail today. But I'm not gonna play that until I finish Second Son, just because I know that game I'm gonna spend many hours on my PS3 again, thanks to that.
And while you do that, I'm gonna try 100% Metal Gear.
And I'll obviously sprinkle in a little Ground Zeroes every now and then too.
We're gonna play again on Friday when I get paid on the Vita. So anyway,
also about Ground Zeroes, it's a lot more difficult, like not getting spotted compared to other Metal Gear. The AI is so unforgiving in this game, especially when you play on hard mode. They'll see they'll see your figure and they'll know that there's someone here.
Yeah,
maybe that's
you really need to use your head in order to get through it, and I really like that.
Maybe that's where I got
it's not like over annoyingly hard, but it's hard enough to where you need to approach it smartly if you want to try and get through.
Also, I think this is like the first Metal Gear without a map, like a legit map to show where you're going. You just have to use your head and hope that no one's around the corner if you're crossing it.
Well, there's still a map.
Yeah, but you have to keep pausing the menu, looking at it. And I'm saying like in the game while you're walking around, you're not gonna know that someone's walking up to you and stuff.
True, it's a lot more intense, and it kind of reminded me. Oh God, here we go. Sorry, it reminded me a wee bit of this other game on the PS3.
Oh God.
I think Money knows what's coming.
We already talked about this.
The last
was gonna hit the podcast sooner or later.
It reminded me of The Last of Us, where you had to worry about where you're crafting your items because you never know if an enemy's gonna be running around the corner or a clicker's gonna come get your face and make a snack out of it. And this, it's kind of the same way. You gotta choose the right moment in order to choose the right moment and right.
And everything's real time too. Like you can't like look at your items like and hope that it's positive like in previous Metal Gears. Everything's real time. You check your map real time. And the codex,
but it's all designed very well to the point where it doesn't feel like you're scrounging through menus to try and find the gun you want, which I actually had a problem with in like Metal Gear Online. As much as I did love it, I really had trouble. Sometimes I would accidentally like pick up another gun that I really wanted to use, but then I'd be scrolling through and I'd accidentally go over it, and then I need to go back up and then over again, and then I'd move it and go over again. This time it's a lot more.
It's kind of like with GTA 5, how they improved their weapon selection screen. Instead of just like scrolling through everything, now you just have a little menu thing. You pick what you want.
Yep.
All right, before we get too off topic real quick. The biggest thing that critics are talking about is like Kojima is forcing certain material into the story, meaning that like some stuff just felt out of place. Like,
I was going to talk about the ending.
Yeah, this isn't our opinion. This is basically why the game's getting mixed reviews. So basically, what most people are criticizing is the ending, where we have to spoil it. We're sorry.
If we're gonna be discussing, maybe we could put an annotation like where to skip about the discussion. Like, hey, spoiler, end here.
So, Kaz, let's say Kaz.
Pause.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, pause.
Pause.
No worries.
Peace.
Yeah. So pause when you capture her and you're on the helicopter and you basically finish the main story mission and you're watching the cutscene. Chico notices that she was stitched up and they realize that they have to go inside of her and take a bomb out. So, that scene was pretty damn gruesome. You would think you were watching Mortal Kombat for a second. Maybe that's why people started voiceover for that game.
It kind of reminded me of Saw, actually, like the style of the situation.
It did actually make me kind of wince a bit. Looking at it, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it did
grab my stuff.
It made me feel kind of uncomfortable.
Right.
They go really.
I did like the way they handled it. I don't think they really handled it badly, like some.
Yeah, they handled it pretty good. I just felt, it just felt kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but it's supposed to be uncomfortable because that crap actually happened.
That was what they were going for.
Real war, actually.
And it's not like we haven't seen CSI or anything. We've seen this before.
Yeah. Anyone who's seen the Hurt Locker, I'm sure they'll know exactly.
Or if you've seen Saw, if you've seen any Saw movies, you've probably seen worse.
Didn't Hurt Locker almost
hey, just play Mortal Kombat and look at Noob Saibot's fatality. You'll be all right.
That's my guy.
Yeah. So anyway, it wasn't I guess like the biggest criticism is like a lot of that stuff just seemed like it didn't fit in the story. Apparently, like it just seemed forced in because Kojima was forcing the issue of, he was trying to get this stuff across in game.
No, I mean, what do they mean, like saying it was forced in? Like,
forced in as in, like, it just didn't, like, what's the better describe? Like, it just didn't seem...
They didn't need to do it.
Yeah, like they had a bomb? Or that they were taking the bomb out when they were taking the bomb out.
No, but I guess when they were, I guess like the whole concept of it apparently, like they just like no one really was a big fan of it. And then
I've
also,
been kind of trying to wrap my head around what the problem
But, I
is.
mean, I just think they're trying to paint the picture for like Zero. I mean, for the people that played Peace Walker, like the whole time in Pa's diary, she keeps saying how she would never defy Cypher because like that's worse than death. Like,
I think that's the reason, though.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to paint the picture that Zero and Cypher are like the worst, evilest people. And so, I mean, how
but
else
I think a lot of times, like for a lot of reviewers, not all of them have been with the series as long as
I know. Like, I watched that IGN video though.
Yeah, like
She
if
said
you watch
Paz
the
was
IGN
15
video,
years old, but she wasn't 15 years old. She was acting like she was undercover, acting like she was 15 years old, but she was like really 20 something.
And everyone who thought she was 15-year-old seduced her.
now granted,
God.
to the reviewers defense, the Metal Gear Solid story, to someone that hasn't played all the games, you wouldn't see him. You would look at this and say, "What the hell is this?" I get that.
Me.
But, but we're on a mission to make sure that you know what this story is. You gonna play?
I mean, it probably wouldn't be gross to me. Like, I'll just be like, wow.
I mean, the game's rated M for
probably
mature, so
the other thing was
you should go into it with a mature mindset anyway.
Yeah, like, wow.
And then I guess the other thing a lot of reviewers were saying, the second bomb, where was placed in a very, very special place, even though they never said that, but obviously,
yeah.
People were just basically like,
but it's kind of weird. When I first heard that she had the second bomb, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking they placed.
I didn't think about that either.
I was thinking
they had it somewhere hidden.
That was the very first thing I thought of, because she was just like, it's in my, and then she just,
Snoop.
I mean, is there like a cassette in there that establishes that? Because I mean, I saw how like everybody says that was in her vaginal area, but I mean, like, where is that? Like, is there evidence to like confirm it, or is that just everybody's agreement that that's what it was? Because I literally, like Corgan, I had no idea where it was. I just saw her jump off.
I was legit thinking it was just the brain or something.
Yeah, that was what I first thought. I'm like, was it in her brain? But I mean, there was nothing else. I didn't listen to all the cassettes. Like, I don't know if that gives it off, but
or maybe the dude who planted the first one, sort of down in her abdominal area, maybe to shove the other one up her lungs or something. I don't know. But I mean, she wasn't saying anything like, she was constantly just talking about.
There was nothing in that scene that could actually hint to where it was at.
Yeah, I think that's just people kind of making it.
I'm telling you, a lot of people, including myself, the very first place we thought of was that area. Because it's just the way how she was saying it. Because it's not like she was like, oh, it's there's another one in my lungs or something. Like, she didn't scream that out. She was all shy about it. And, when she was
I just brushed that off as she was just nervous, considering she knew she was going to blow up in a few seconds.
Basically, you can take different people are going to take it different ways. That's why I'm not sure. Like, I mean, it'd be better if we had like hard evidence, I guess, to actually state where it was at, because I still don't know where it was at. But I saw how like a lot of people were saying where they thought it was at, where MK thought it was at. I mean, thinks it's at.
But again, all of this is irrelevant just because the game is rated M for mature, and that sort of thing is.
I mean, it's not like it's anything new either. That's another thing. I mean, Metal Gear always.
No, I think that the reviewers, they were just, again, this isn't our opinion, this is theirs. They were basically just, I guess they just felt like it just seemed really forced in, like that, like, I guess that amount of, like, I guess, it's not like apparently according to them, like, it's not like the violence itself, but it's like, if it makes sense, put it in there. I guess to a lot of people, like, that just didn't really make a ton of sense.
Like I said, they're trying to
I mean, if you're trying to kill Snake, I think that would have been the best plan. Plant a bomb on someone.
That was the whole plan.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
Who knows? Just different people interpreting it differently. Man, they're probably gonna have a field day when the Phantom Pain comes out.
I know, because the Phantom Pain's probably gonna have a lot more.
Yeah, like for example, I remember in the Red Band trailer when they showed all the child soldiers in Africa and stuff like that.
Big Boss unleashes.
And the character Quiet alone is controversial.
Brutally shot to death in the prison and everything, and getting waterboarded. It's gonna be pretty. I have a feeling that's gonna raise a lot of debate. But
otherwise, all of us here at the podcast unanimously agree that the game is probably going to be the best freaking $30 demo you can ever buy in life.
Pretty much.
I think it's kind of weird how, since it's a sequel to Peace Walker, how the styles of the games are completely different, but even the overall gameplay is still like they have the same idea, but like the setting and tone is completely different. And Peace Walker is more of a happy tone, and they're clearly having fun with it, having some goofy bits in it. This one's like 100% serious.
Yeah,
except for like one side mission.
This game basically set the tone to what the direction that Metal Gear is heading, at least for this game. It's going to be a much more serious tone.
I was already really looking forward to the Phantom Pain, but after playing this, Phantom Pain's already shot all the way up to my most anticipated next-gen title, to be completely honest. It's even above Uncharted 4.
Well, now we know next year most likely will be Uncharted, it'll be Metal Gear, and it'll be The Witcher 3.
Yep.
So
that sounds about right.
Like a trio of games.
Oh, no, actually, I think I'm anticipating the order a wee bit. Just a wee bit.
I think the order will be really good. All right, before
it's too tough. There's too many good games.
Should we give ratings, or do you want to discuss it?
Let's save that for another podcast.
We are sort of running out of time here. We'll probably commence talking about Ground Zeroes next week, along with Corgan and I, at least. I don't know who else is getting it, but our infamous.
Yep. Fucking Sun.
That was one long Ground Zero segment. Dang.
Well, it's the hot news of the week.
It is.
Besides Sony's VR headset, that's about it.
Yep, it'll be the hot news.
And Assassin's Creed leaked image.
Oh, yes. I'll talk about that next time.
We're going to talk about that next time.
Now, let's talk about it now. Assassin's Creed.
Well, aren't we having another podcast?
Do we have time to now? I will talk about it.
A little bit.
You wanted a little bit of a Corgan Assassin's Creed segment?
But aren't we going to have another podcast later in the week?
Are we?
No.
I thought you said we're going to do one after, next week?
If we do, we'd have to do it Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Then that's next week.
Yep, next week. Anyway, Assassin's Creed.
Recording episode 4 a little bit early next week.
We'll go ahead. French Revolution Paris, called Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, for the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yep, and supposedly there's another one that's being made only for PS3 and Xbox 360 and all the old generation consoles, pretty much.
And they haven't said anything about the Wii U. So
no, they have not, unfortunately. But hey,
it looks pretty great. I'm copping. I'm getting it. I'm definitely gonna get it.
I will say, I wonder if they do release it on Wii U, which one will they put out on the Wii U?
That's a very good question. Because I don't know.
Ubisoft is still one of those publishers.
Granted, it looks like it could run on the Wii U actually quite easily right now. Although the screenshots that were released were very clearly not, finalized. A lot of textures were missing. There wasn't too much detail on a lot of the character models that I saw, but. Yeah.
Here's a bold prediction. Whoever ports Watch Dogs on the Wii U will port the new Assassin's Creed game on the Wii U.
Bold prediction. Both Assassin's Creed? They'll call it Assassin's Creed Wii U Collection.
Yeah, because they always say, the Watch Dog developers, they always say, Watch Dogs on, the biggest, the prettiest version will be PC, PS4, Xbox One. You know, the PS3 and Xbox 360 version, that is what it is, and then the Wii U, it's not as good looking as the PS4, but it's not as bad looking as the PS3. Like, somewhere in between. So
I am quite excited to see how the Wii U version of Watch Dogs turns out, since I know they're just kind of taking their time with it.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I think they're waiting for Mario Kart to release first.
That could be as well. But hey, while you're waiting, you might as well polish it up a wee bit.
Really
see what I did there? A wee bit. You're welcome.
On that note,
we're
we're
gonna
go on to
ratings for Metal Gear. Like, give us our final opinions about it.
Our final,
like out of 10 or out of
like
5?
We do out of 5 or out of 10?
I don't think we got enough time for that right now.
Shut up.
No, just give a number. Just give a number. Just give a number out of 10.
All right.
10 being the best.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10, only because it ended so soon, and I just want to keep playing.
Money?
I'd give it about a 8.5 or 9.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's really good. It's just the length. It's just kind of, it really doesn't really matter. The gameplay is really good, but it's just the length of the game kind of dwindles it.
And I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Greatest gameplay in a Metal Gear Solid game yet so far. Lengthwise, I just can't give it above an 8. It is a prologue. Story-wise, I'm excited. I don't give a damn what anybody else says.
You get a grade off of what it is.
And, there you go. I give it an 8 out of 10. Can't wait for the Phantom Pain.
And a correction, MK, that Metascore is a 75.
Heyo.
Fabricating information.
Isn't that hilarious how just a prologue is getting like better reviews than like 90% of the next generation games out there right now?
And just imagine how the campaign will hold up.
I think honestly, Corgan, tomorrow night when Infamous releases, that'll be like the first PS4 game, at least, that makes people say, we have a PS4.
I don't know. Actually, this one was for me. Actually, honestly.
Well, yeah, Ground Zeroes looks great, but the majority of like PlayStation.
The deja vu mission.
I can't wait. That's what I'm actually gonna work on tonight, trying to collect all the Fox or XOF emblems.
I finally did it. I didn't play the mission yet.
It's just that Infamous is the very first game of that size that's built for this system, so I'm excited to see how it comes out. But anyway, really quick here to wrap this up, we need to talk about really quickly here. Obviously, I think this question may be pretty obvious, but Moose, I think it's time for you to do your annual "What Games We're Playing" section.
So today, this week, not today. So Monty, what have you been playing this week?
I was just playing some games.
Does it start with an M?
What is that game, Monty?
I just can't put my finger on it. It's like the only game that's been on PS4 for the past 2 days.
Like Metal Gear Solid Ground 1s or 2s?
Or I don't know, it's not along those lines. I think it's a Metal. I think it might be Splinter Cell, actually.
Oh, okay. Blacklist. Gotcha.
Interesting.
No, seriously. I've been playing Metal Gear and some Pokemon when I'm not around my PS4.
You played.
Okay, more money?
Yeah, this is also for Monty because we all hopped on NBA 2K last night, right? Yesterday.
Oh yes, I'm definitely gonna be posting that soon. A few clips.
To watch the full stream too.
We're getting on that tonight.
Speaking of which, I might be getting that game when I get MLB The Show.
Besides NBA 2K,
another white man to the team.
Dark Souls 2 and Metal Gear Ground Zeroes.
All right, so MK, what you been playing this week?
Well, I've been playing 2K along with you guys. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, obviously. On my 3DS, I've been playing a new Super Mario Brothers 2 and the new Zelda game. And on the Wii U, Super Mario 3D World.
How the heck do you divide your time up being all that crap? My goodness.
I don't.
Tell him, NK, it just happens.
Usually, well, the 3DS is easier to make time for that.
True.
I get
Since you can take that
me.
anywhere.
I haven't, I played Mario again today. Yesterday was straight up Ground Zeroes and 2K, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So, Mr. Corgan K Lyric, what have you playing this week?
Well, on PlayStation 4, just like everybody else, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. First game to get me to come back to PS4 in quite a while, since I got my Wii U, pretty much. On my Wii U, I'm playing the old Wii classic, Super Mario Galaxy. And on my Nintendo 3DS, I'm still playing Fire Emblem Awakening.
Both of us own Vitas, by the way.
Boost Dusk, what Boss Dre? What are you playing this week? Well, earlier this week I was playing South Park, and I finished that up. I was really excited to finish it up and playing the game and whatnot. I like the gameplay. All that. I hope they make another one. PS4, 2K, nothing has changed. I do want to get into Battlefield. We need to get on Battlefield. I just want to throw that out.
I already deleted Battlefield.
I think I was mainly directed to Monty and Money. So. And MK.
One day.
Wait, MK don't got it no more, I think. And on the Wii U, Super Mario 3D.
Very good choice.
As you can see.
And I'm getting my DS next week.
Only one without Metal Gear.
Hey.
Yeah, I love being odd.
He's just gonna prepare by playing the collection.
I like being the weird one out of the group.
If Boost plays Ground Zeroes, I bet that dude would want to play the other Metal Gear games.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, after you beat Ground Zeroes, go back to Acid. That's like the best one you can get.
Go back to Acid.
That's when Monty gave you bad advice. So
get that card game.
No, I know what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Peace Walker. Me and Korg is gonna be out to Peace Walker.
You could just buy that Legacy collection and get like everything.
Is Acid included in that bundle?
Why didn't they release Peace Walker?
Well, besides Acid. Okay. All the Solid and just Metal Gear titles.
Yeah. So.
All right. I think this. Yes. I'm sorry. Well, I'll finish it off. You always finish it off. My turn.
All right. Make it rain.
So I think it's time. This is the end of the podcast. Coast to Coast Gaming Central podcast. I hope you enjoyed the talk.
Well, I'll be doing it.
If it was MK, it would have been over by now. But nope.
Feel free to
Monty,
comment who did the better.
Bye.
I got it, man. Well, I got it. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Coast to Coast Gaming Central. This is MKGUY. I got my boy Boost Dusk.
Yeah. Later.
Got my boy Mr. Money Mo Money. Bye. Got my boy Mr. Monty.
Kept you waiting, huh?
We got Dusk It Up filming this, doing dusky stuff. And I got my boy Mr. K Lyric Corgan.
See, if we were rapping and keep gaming.
What was it again, Corgan? Say it again.
I can't remember what it was. I changed
it. You just said it.
It was like keep playing, keep gaming, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. That wasn't what I just said. I said something else, but I think Monty's right. I think that's what I said last week.
And keep gaming.
Keep open.
And again, this is MKGUY. Thank you for listening to episode 3. We will be recording episode 4 Sunday. Should be posted on Monday. That'll be a lot of Infamous and probably more Ground Zeroes talk in the finish up of GD.
All right. Sorry about that.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we have some
We're on a budget.
Sony don't like me, man.
Well, you should let MK wrap it up in the first place.
Yeah, see, if I would have wrapped it up in the first place.
See, if we were a wrestling group, MK would be the one with the mic.
Yeah. But,
and Boosie just sits there in the back.
So I got to do this really quickly before Sony hates on Boost again. We'll be recording on Sunday. Episode 4 should be posted on Monday. But, sometimes we have to reschedule things. So look out
everything goes perfect.
For Infamous, Ground Zeroes, and GDC wrap-up, because that'll finish up on Friday. Other than that, this has been episode 3. Thank you for listening to Coast to Coast Gaming Central, and we are out of here.
Bye.
Bye.